Aunt Doris, hi. I didn't know they let you out. Today? That's great. Yeah. You're coming over. Of course, I'll be happy to. You want a snack? Be happy to get you a snack. You don't know if you want cookies or cake, but you want both. Of course I can figure it out. I'll be happy to figure it out. I know how you get when you don't get your snack. 20 minutes. Sure. Love you too. Oh boy. So, you're on a time crunch and you need to make a snack. Or there's a bake sale and you really want to show up Susan down the street, who's always making something better than you, no matter what you bake and how hard you work on it, Susan. Or you want cookies and you just don't have everything you need on hand. Well, that is where these come in. I always keep a couple of boxes of cake mix on hand because they're great for this exact occasion. Box cake mixes have been around since the 1930s, and since then they've made baking so much easier for so many people. But what's great about these is they contain everything you need in the box. The flour, the salt, the sugar, the baking soda, baking powder. The only thing you have to add is the eggs, oil, and water, and that's where you get to play and have fun. Not to mention you can add different flavors, you can add different snacks or mixes or nuts or chocolates or whatever. Today we're going to be taking these and we're going to be making cake cookies. So making cake cookies is actually surprisingly simple. You almost have to follow the instructions. On the back of the box, you'll have these instructions that'll say you need to add water, eggs, and oil. And you mostly do that. You're going to add your cake mix, but instead of adding 3 eggs, you're only going to add 2. You're still going to add your half a cup of oil, but you're just not going to add any water. Really that simple. So we're going to start with a yellow cake mix, your basic off-the-shelf cake mix, and we got the perfectly moist variety. We're just going to mix that, the eggs, and the oil in the bowl. And something really interesting happens. Check this out. Cake mix, half a cup of oil. We're going to use the oil cup to crack our eggs in to check for shells. No shells. And eggs. Now, normally for something like this, I would be using a whisk, but I found that when I do this, it gets so thick, it just keeps getting caught up. So we're just going to use a regular spoon. Normally, a cake mix, you would have the water in there, and this whole thing would turn into a thinner, looser batter. But you can see without adding the oil, it's turning into almost a dough, a thicker dough. Which does make it a little harder to make sure everything is integrated. So we want to make sure we're scraping down the sides as we're mixing as well. We want to make sure there's no clumps and no dry streaks. Now that's a dough. As you can see with our dough, it became very, very thick. Not common to most cake doughs that you see. And this is exactly what we're looking for. This is scoopable, it's formable, and this is the stage where you could add some things if you wanted to. If you wanted to add sprinkles or chocolate chips or whatever. I actually have a plan for these when they're done. So we're going to get these cooking and see how they come out. Okay, now we have got 12 of these scooped out onto a tray. They're about 2 ounces. They're whatever the basic cookie scoop is. These will spread a little bit. They'll also get some nice crackles on the top. It's going to be really cool. But we've got our oven set to 350, and these are going to go in for about 10 minutes, and we'll check them after that. Cook up, my friends. So our timer just went off. Let's check these out. Oh, those look quite nice. Let's get the remaining cookies in. So these rose just a little bit. The edges of them are golden brown. They look really good. So as you can see, they puffed up just a little bit, but they didn't get cake puffy. The edges of these guys are just golden brown. We actually ended up cooking these for about 12 minutes all told, and these look quite good. We're going to let these cool, let the rest of this batch cook up, and then batch number 2. Just the cookies. Only the cookies. Cookies are so good, I like to eat cookies. Cookies are so good. Aunt Doris, hey! Delayed. Oh, that's just awful. That's, if you can't make it, yeah. Still coming. Of course, I'm delighted. Your sweet tooth is going up. I'll have just the thing for you. Yeah. See ya real soon. Yeah. Crud. So our first batch is done, and I wanted to take a second to talk about the cookie itself while the last of it's cooling. Cake cookies are really the best of both worlds. They are, when we break them open, we've got this light, flaky, cakey interior with a little cookie crisp on it. These are great. They'll soak up a lot of milk. They're great with teas, and it just gives you this wonderful balance between the two. Yes, quite good. So the first batch is done, and it's time to make batch number 2. And we're going to do almost the exact same thing, just with our strawberry mix. Now, since Aunt Doris has her sweet tooth going up, we're going to take our strawberry, and we're also going to add about half a cup of chocolate chips. So, you've seen it before. Here's the quick version. Strawberry! Oil! Egg number 1. Egg number 2. No shells. Eggs. Aunt Doris's chocolate chips. Spoon of your choice. Same deal. Make sure we're scrapping. We're scrapping down the edges. Batten down the hatches. Scrap down the edges. The ship's going under. The chocolate chip storms are coming. Make sure we're scrapping down the sides. Oh, the chips! It's a wave! No! No, he lost Henderson! No, he had a family! He was so young! Alright, mixed. No streaks. Dough. Pan. We make these cookies in honor of Henderson. 'Twas a good lad. Did not deserve to be taken to the sea. Alright, let's get this first batch in and see how we did. Cook for me. Now, earlier I said I had a plan for the yellow cake cookies, and while the other batch is cooking, now's the perfect time to implement that. And that plan is this: chocolate frosting. Now, if you ever had what's called a doozy, it's basically just frosting between two cookies, and these cookies are perfect for that. I think that's going to make Aunt Doris pretty happy, so let's make some doozies. So doozies are really simple. You take your cookie, a knife, some frosting, and make a sandwich. So let's get to it. Get a nice glob of frosting on there. If you think it's just enough, add a little bit more. Because everyone who has the doozy goes, man, that was great. I wish I had just a little more frosting. You'll sandwich them together, and there you go. Doozies are as simple as that. Now, you can do this with different types of frosting. I also recommend doing this with ice cream. Depending on which cake you use for your batter, a really good vanilla ice cream or a really good chocolate ice cream work perfectly. These, you let the ice cream melt a little bit, scoop it onto here, stick it between, and then freeze the whole thing like a big old ice cream sandwich. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's quite good. Now, we're going to doozify most of these. And luckily for me, the store had a sale on frosting, so I got a couple different varieties. So we're going to doozify some of these and decorate some of the others. Doozify. Oh, that one's not even. Oh well, it's imperfect like all of us, but still beautiful on the inside. And there we have 3 different ways to make cookies with cake mix. And there's a lot more you can do than just what's here. The doozies are a great example of something you can throw together really quick. Like I said, you can do this with ice cream, frosting, peanut butter, whatever you want to put in the middle. You can frost them and add your own fun sprinkles. Or you could just add chocolate chips and leave them be because these are surprisingly delicious. Everything here is great. If you need cookies quick, if you just want a snack, if you need to show up Susan, it's all there. I just hope Aunt Doris likes them. She's here.